This is the reading for the Aries male singles. Now, I have a spread. It's called the House of Love. And in the roof are the cards of how they meet, how you meet your next partner. And the house of cards within that, under the roof, is basically the relationship when it's in full swing. So I've laid out all the cards. I used the Romance Tarot and the Love and Sex Tarot. And we're going to figure this out. So we'll start with the roof and how situationally you guys meet, things that arise, da da da. So the first card is the For the Emperor. So that's really the energy of who that epitomizes the Aries, right? I mean, he's the guy on the throne, and you listen to me, and don't you dare go against my grain, da da da. I feel like the Emperor kind of knows what he wants and how to get it, so he just really goes after it, mover and a shaker. But you listen to me, you know, that kind of a sensation. So basically the Aries male being the Aries male, being in charge and going out and doing things in that way, he is being himself, so that's a good thing. The sexual card that I have here is the Nine of Swords. Now the Nine of Swords in the usual deck, right, is about illusions and things. Like, I'm getting a sense of dramarama, but through this deck here, we have a couple that's trying to indulge in the senses, yet there's a black cat blooming. So, could be a situation where we have this Aries being the Aries male that he is, and he attracts a partner in that way on a physical side. Now, the next card we get is the Ten of Swords. So, the Ten of Swords here in this romance deck really says to me there's somebody having feelings for someone else but not willing to go all in and expose themselves. It's almost like a crushing or some kind of hidden love, secret love, the interest that they have that they're not willing to come forward with, or not willing to really expose themselves. They want the person to know, but they don't want to know. They don't want them to know who it is. So secret admirer in that way. I mean, that sounds pretty clandestine, but yeah, someone that, you know, you may have interest in, but you're not ready to invest in it yet. You're kind of dreaming about it. And then we have on the sexual side, the physical side of things, we have 14 Temperance. So that's really about, you know, keeping your cool and you know, just give it time and wait and patience, da da da, right? So having the patience to wait it out. And I don't know if the object of your affection is what you're needing to wait on. If that's all kosher, like if that's all morally good, then you may have to wait for this person just to come around to you, or, you know, maybe you're in the workings of that. I don't know. Now, the next card I get is the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins in the romance deck is really about the money being in the forefront rather than the romance, right? Because that's really all it's sitting here on the pink. It's almost like a pink satin pillow. There's the coin, right? It's standing above all else. So be aware that that is the attractor. The money, the stability is the attractor of the partner. So be aware of that. And then the next card I get on top of that is the Five of Pentacles. So that's really, really taking the girl out in the back porch, and you're playing, you know, the violin for her and willing to romance her and go slowly with everything. That's really the sense I get here, is on the male side, he's willing to do that. He's willing to indulge in that. Now, when we get into the relationship full blown, because that's the possibility here, this is the conditions on how they meet. When we get into it, we end up with the Two of Swords in the romance deck. That is shielding your heart from, you know, not wanting to open up completely, kind of wanting to give, but not wanting to expose, right? To expose everything. And then in the bedroom, we get the Nine of Pentacles. So we may have a situation where this male is not wanting to give his heart, but physically he's obsessed. He's all in. You know, physically it's working. He's getting what he can physically in that way. So As we move down the line, we get the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is about offering the love as well. So we may have a situation where in the beginning we were guarding our heart, and then we got into the physical realm and we're kind of getting overblown. We've gone past the romance into passion and fiery heat of the romance. And so then now the love starts coming out, right? So then, you know, he's offering the love. And then we get in the bedroom, we get the Ace of Pentacles. So we go from like a fiery, and I feel like the male is in charge of this here, this energy of getting obsessed, you know, maybe even physically obsessed with the partner to the point where they're not really, where they're just really, you know, pumped about that, about the sexual side. So, again, the love is starting to be opened up. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is that grounding, secure feeling. And I get a sense that the partner here, the female partner for the Aries male, is really feeling a sense of security with this male. They're feeling secure and safe. And that means a lot to them. And I don't know that the relationship they had before or ever has made them feel this way. So that is something that is really important to them and is paramount to the relationship, the safety feeling that the woman has for him. Now, as we move on into the romance card, again, we get the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is about aggression and about moving forward. So we go from like kind of guarding your heart to being in physically to kind of rushing. So we're offering the love, but at the same time we're being maybe a little overly aggressive with things. So we got to watch we don't turn our partner off with that. And then in the bedroom we go to the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands in this deck, I take it to mean that point you get with the relationship where you're just around every corner, you're just going off and having those little escapades whenever you can. Even if you feel like you could get caught, you're just going to indulge because there's so much passion, so much of those emotions and feelings in the physical sense, they're all there. So they're indulging in it and you can't do it, you know, you can't not do it. It's just overwhelming. So that's what the Ten of Wands means to me, and that's that aggressiveness and in a physical sense. So as we move on, we get the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is kind of like regret, sorrow, and defeat. He's been defeated. He's been refused, been declined. Something's gone wrong here. He's sad and he knows why. You know, he's not clueless. He knows why. He's defeated, depleted. So there's a sense of dejection here that comes from this relationship. Now we end up at the Knave of Swords. Now the Knave of Swords is also another card about idealizing the body, the female body, looking at it and just I want, but not having any depth of thought and back and forth. So we may have a situation here where we have a woman that is dependent on the man for security reasons, and the man that's dependent on the woman for physical sexual gratification. And it just doesn't hit on all levels for either one. The woman's going, you know, I need more than financial stability. I'm not attracted. And the man's going, I need more than sex, but this is really great. But I need more than sex because this is not. But he's wanting. You know, I feel on the male side, the Aries, I'm feeling he's really wanting to go forward with this, willing to, even though on some levels he's not completely fulfilled. He's just not aware of it yet. And I feel it's the woman that kind of comes clean and says, you know, I'm really, your stability means a lot to me, but I'm not attracted to you enough. Or that kind of a wind comes through. Because I feel like he gets the reason. He gets he gets all the answers, like the clarity is there, so he just walks away defeated and saddened, but nonetheless he can't do anything about it because that is the decision. This woman, she's not attracted. I can't change her, you know, I can't change her outlook. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to force her. You know, I thought we were both on the same page, and it seems like, you know, they weren't. He wasn't sensing far enough in. It was a little bit boggled by the physicality. The physical things were titillating so much that it overpowered He didn't get a chance to come off of that in order to get to the other part of it. So he kind of feel getting the males kind of feeling cheated in a way, but you know, he knows it's not right to continue if she's not attracted. So, and she's really just coming clean, going, yeah, I could milk this, but that's not who I am, and I don't want to go in this direction if it's not more fulfilling. And she's just really coming clean and laying it all on the table, and it's just not good news for the Aries male. So hopefully this doesn't happen over February, over Valentine's Day. But if it does, just know that there are better relationships that will come in your way. We really have to take what we can take from these things. And a lot of what I'm getting here is the lesson for her was to be clear and concise with what you want. Because sometimes you can ask for things that you want and not be specific, and then you get that, and then it's not what you want. So the male is, his lesson is that he's got to learn that he cannot let, you know, basically the physical drive run the show. We have to balance the mind with the heart, with, you know, the pants. We got to balance the drive, right? Because it's an overpowering drive that really kind of is scared this one away. But in a sense, they just are really, I feel like there's a grounded truth from this person. They're not blowing smoke. They're saying, you know, I'm really not feeling it all the way. I can get into this, but it's just not for me. Because they know that there's someone better suited for them down the road. You know, they can't see them. They maybe not met them, but there's something. And as well for you. You know, there's something better suited here. And you're going, well, that was pretty good. But nonetheless, we can't be blinded by the body. As beautiful as it can be, we have to kind of back off and take the whole person as a whole and not just be in the physical arena that wears off. I think they would argue that with me, but it does wear off. And so we need to have more to sustain. So, you know, this is kind of the lessons here. Spelling it right out for the Aries male singles. A bit of a disappointment, a bit of a cycle, but I think they take it well. They take it with grace, and hopefully they have the strength to quickly come back and, you know, root around a little bit and find some more things to get excited about, and hopefully that helps them through. So for the Valentine's Day read for the Aries male single male Aries, that's the reading. Hopefully that helps you in some way, either see it, and I hope that you don't reroute yourself, because I feel like this is a very powerful lesson, because not only do you deal with your defeat gracefully, but the woman deals with the truth to you gracefully, because there could be a great opportunity here for very much a bitter taste, you know, but everybody's dealt with in an adult manner. And I mean that in a graceful way, with respect and tact. And it is not really an easy place to leave. So it's done very maturely. So this is something I feel is a very good experience. So we don't want to avoid it. We want to dive into it. But we want to just be honest with our feelings and not try and pretend we don't feel anything. So that's the only advice I could give on top of what everything's coming out here. So hopefully that helps the Aries male. The single Aries male for February of 2018. Happy Valentine's Day. Take care, have fun, and be kind.